demonstration on the brand new 2021 Chausson first line 7-foot. So we'll start the handover demonstration on the driver's side of the vehicle. The first point on the motor when you get to is LPG, which is liquid petroleum gas, and it holds a 6 kilogram propane gas bottle. So to open this lock, you use the little key and you would turn to the unlock. So you can turn it down to lock it, up so it's on its side to open, and then open the door like so. And then you get a 6 kilogram propane gas bottle in here. Obviously make sure it's securely strapped in once it's in place, and to get the pigtail on the bottle, it's a left hand thread with the main gas and nip up with a spanner. You will either need an adjustable spanner or a gas wrench, and then you turn on and off at the top of the bottle. And then to shut, you just push the lock back in. You've got your Yamaha F45S awning on this that this customer has opted, as it don't come standard with an awning. This is what the customer's asked to be supplied by us. You've got your awning light and your two fridge vent covers. Behind the back wheel here, this indicates that your wastewater drain off is under here. And if you just look under there, you've got a grey pipe, and you just slide this forward. As you can see, the water has started to run out. This is the water we've tested the vehicle with. So you drive over a grid on the way out of your site and leave this open, and it will drain off. Obviously in the winter it's very important that you drain your waste off, as well as your fresh and your boiler, which I'll show you when we're going around the handover. Your toilet's behind here, and this is your toilet locker, so this is where your cassette toilet lives. So again, it'll open with this key, and then you just pinch it. Make sure the blade on the toilet is closed, otherwise you'll not get the cassette out. That's when it'll not move. So if you lift the handle, slide it out, that indicates the cassette blade is closed, as you've been able to get the cassette out. Got a handle there to drag it around the site instead of carrying it. And then to empty, you take the cap off, go to the waste disposal point, and then you'll just press this button here and tip out. Once you've tipped it out, I would advise putting some water in and giving it a quick rinse, and then tip out again. And then you can then fill this with your chemical, or if you're using the tablet form of chemical, put a pint of water back into the cassette and drop a tablet, which is in the cellophane, down the toilet. Moving to the back, this is your garage area, so again opens with the key, and then you just pull your handles. And in here you do have, so because it's got an easy box system, you can use the winding handle, and you can wind this up and down. So if you want the beds to be lower, or if you want the garage size to be bigger, you can wind it up and down accordingly. You've got your infill cushions for your bed, which I'll show you once we're inside, and there are all your carpets. Light in the garage, and then your garage is heated by the diesel heater and does have a 240 socket and 12 volt point in the garage area there. Coming round to the back, you've got your high level brake light and reverse camera, and then this customer's also offered a bike rack. So with your bike rack, you slide the arm off, pull it open, put your bikes on the rails and put them through the wheels and secure the spokes to the rails, and then these are followed the crossbars. So you've got your first bike being the smallest one, second, third and fourth arms to secure the bike in place. So now inside the vehicle, I'll go through your main control panel. So you've got your diesel heater here, so you just turn it from off all the way to on, turn it to full temperature first to allow it to do its cycle and start the combustion with the diesel, and then you can adjust it accordingly. And like I said, if this light here goes to a flashing light, you've either gone low on diesel, or you need to just take them fuses out and reset the diesel heater. And then this is your main control panel. So first of all, if you're hooked up, you'll get this light on here, which looks like your hookup lead, and that means you've got 240 volt coming on board. If not, you will just have 12 volt if you're not hooked up off your leisure battery. So you've got your master switch, which turns the motorhome on. You've got your lights, and then they all are individually switched. including these two switches here. So the top one does your little blue lights, and this one does your entrance lights. Then you've got your tap, so which is your pump. So don't put your pump on if you've got no water on board. Put your pump on if you want to use your taps, your shower and your toilet. And then you do have your awning light, which is the light above the door on the outside. And then these buttons here correspond with these here. So first of all, you've got your trailer, which is your leisure battery reading, and it's shown fully charged. You've got your truck, which is your Ford engine battery, which is shown in the green. And then you've got your freshwater reading. And then should this little yellow tab go to a red tab down here, it means your waste is full and requires to be emptied, which is at the back wheel. And then you can dim and brighten the panel by pressing and holding this button here. So now in your kitchen area, you've got on your hob 2 gas rings and 1 electric hot plate on mains electric only when you're hooked up, which it works on here, and you'll get your little red light on, which means it's on. And then once you have had these on, if you allow them to cool before you put the glass lid down, as the heat will shatter this, so just do be careful. And then underneath you've got your oven, and then above and then you'd use your 2 infill cushions, which are normally kept in your garage. So there's this one without the leg, goes towards the front behind the passenger and driver seats of the cab, and then the one with the leg, obviously it's a folding leg, hangs off the table. That's why it's got the leg there. So that makes your double bed below, should you want to use this. Or of course you do have your electric bed above, which you just pull down by the switch. You can stop it at any height should you have people underneath, or you can bring it all the way down. Like so, and use this as your main bed. And then in the kitchen above the sink, you've got 2 switches in the cupboard, which are your boiler. So this is how to heat your water. You've got 2 switches, so you've got gas this side, and then Truma boiler EL, and it'll indicate 230 volt, which is electric. So with the gas you've got to have the cover off, and you've got off in the middle, 50 degrees at the top and 70 degrees at the bottom. And then with the electric side you can have the cover on, you don't have to have the cover off. You can have it on 1 kilowatt, off in the middle, and 2 kilowatts at the bottom. And of course you can have both sources on together, which will double the time it takes to heat your water, reducing the time it takes, and obviously giving you hot water a lot sooner. And then to operate your Dometic fridge, so first of all you've just got to press and hold, because this is a flush panel. This turns it off, this turns it on, and as you can see it's auto, which means it's an automatic energy selection fridge, so it'll find the best source you have available. So at the moment we've got a gas bottle on and we're hooked up. It knows not to waste your gas, so it's going to hook up. If I was then to start the engine, it would go to the battery, and the battery feed isn't your leisure battery, it's off your engine battery alternator, and it gives a feed when only the engine is running, which is designed to keep the temperature of the fridge it was at when departing. So the idea with the battery setting is that you hook it up the night before and allow it to cool down with the shopping in. Obviously shopping gets lovely and cold, as it will in a fridge at full temperature, and then when you are ready to travel, if it's on automatic it'll just switch over at the battery, or you can manually change the source by pressing mode, which will turn it off. So it's gone to battery and it's failed because the engine's not running. We've gone to gas and it's just self-igniting there, or you can go to mains hook up on its own. But I'll just leave it on auto and it'll do all it for you itself. And then obviously you do have your temperature here, but do take in mind that it waits 20 minutes before lighting on gas on auto, because if you've got your gas open and you've knocked the engine off and you've went to fill with diesel, obviously it does then want to go to gas, but it's programmed to wait 20 minutes, so it wouldn't be lighting in a filling station. You've got your travel locks here, so if you just push them forward, you can then open the fridge door like so. And obviously once you've used it for the season, if you take all your little bits and pieces, your remaining shopping out, give it a wipe down with some cleaner, and then just leave the door ajar to stop any mould growing in the fridge. You've got two gas taps underneath the fridge, one's for the fridge and one's for the cooker. Should you have any problems with gas, turn off at the bottle to be safe. These are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced in line with Chausson's warranty. To open your large skylight in the kitchen area, you can use your winder toggle and you just wind, open it up like so, and then when closing it, obviously make sure it is closed when travelling, because they're not designed to be opened. If you look in here, when I'm winding there, you'll start to see the red little tab, which indicates it's locked securely. Then you do have a blackout blind and a fly screen on your skylights and windows. So this is just showing that your hot water's working there. It's lovely and warm, and you can see the steam coming off the water. And also, when I'm here, to operate this light in the kitchen, you've just got a little tab there that you press, which will turn on and off the light. Your bathroom door for your toilet also acts as a bedroom door and separates both together to the back of the vehicle. I'll start off with the toilet. So to operate your toilet, behind you've got a blue button here, which you just press and which will fill the bowl with water. So when the pump's on, it will fill the bowl from the main tank. And then to deposit your waste, you'd slide to the right and it'll open the cassette. What I'd do is, when using the toilets in the motorhomes, is flush the toilet first because it lubricates the blade and stops the blade from sticking. Open the toilet, so open the blade, use the toilet, and then flush the toilet, and then close the blade to conceal the cassette. And then once the cassette is full, you will get a little red light on here, which indicates that it needs to be taken out and emptied and topped back up with chemical and put back in. Got a handy cupboard here for your toiletries. Obviously your washroom is heated because this is a heater duct, so always leave these open in the open position, don't shut them as it will block the heat and could melt this, so please do leave them open. You've got your bathroom light switch here, which is on a little rocker, and you've got more toiletry cabinet space there. This is just showing that your bathroom tap's working, and that's getting the temperature as well. Slide these along either way, and you've got some more toiletry cabinet storage space. Got a hanging rail for towels, and you can open this like so. And then you do have a fly screen and a blackout blind. To operate your windows, so I'll show you your window on your bathroom window. You'd press and open your toggles, push it out, and then push it all the way out so it stops. Push it all the way out to bring it in, and then make sure it is securely fastened before you start travelling. And then you do have a blackout blind and a fly screen. Pinch them together, brings them both up. Obviously pinch to depart, and that's your blackout blind. Across from us we do have your shower area. So you've got a standard shower cubicle, same skylight, and obviously a hanging rail, which is more beneficial in this side of the shower room than the toilet, which is great if you've been caught walking the dog or out with the kids in the wet. Hang your clothes on here and they'll drip dry into here, and obviously you can use the shower to wash them off. But with the shower and every tap in the vehicle, when you are winterising the vehicle, i.e. you've opened the fresh, so you've took the bung off the fresh, you've opened the waste, you'll open the boiler, which I'll show you how to do in a second. I would then leave all the mixer taps open in the middle position to stop any build-up of air, and unscrew your shower head from the shower hose. As you can see, it's got a loop there, so I would pull that off as well and lie it in the shower tray to stop any water from freezing in there. Then in the back you do have, see, your light switches here and your wardrobe, so you've got a hanging rail as well as a few shelves for your shoes and your other clothing items. A curtain there which you can pull across for a bit of privacy in the bunks, and then under this one you can lift up and you've got some more storage for clothing. Like I said, this one can be wound to the top here, or it can go all the way down to here, just depending on what you have in the garage. You've got a step there, and then you do have two touch lights, so one for the bottom bunk and one for the top when it's down. So behind your passenger seat, underneath your cushions in the lounge area, is where your Truma boiler lives. So your Truma boiler, obviously gas and electric boiler, heats your water, holds 10 litres of water at any one time. In the winter it's very important that you drain it off for when you're not using it, but especially in the winter, as you don't want the water to freeze, as it isn't covered under any warranty, as it's your responsibility to drain it off, and it's very expensive to repair or even replace. So what you need to do is this little yellow tap here, it's lying down, lie it up, stand it up like so, and it'll drain directly underneath the chassis with 10 litres of water draining out. Leave it stood up during the time you've got the vehicle in storage, obviously with all the taps in the motorhome open and your fresh and waste outside open. Then when you are ready to use it, you shut all your taps inside your boiler, your waste, your fresh outside, fill with water, put the pump on, go to the cold side of the tap first, you'll get automatic cold water from the main tank which is down there. And then when you go to hot, the main tank then sends a feed to here. Obviously it pushes all the air out until it gets to optimum volume of water in here, and then it would then pull it through the taps and obviously heat the water as well. Got your charger unit there and your water pump. So as this is a smart lounge, you've got your smart lounge here, which I'll show you in a minute, but this has also got the additional seat, so to sleep, it has 5 belted seats. This is the back of the seat which goes onto these two grooves here. So as you can see, these go into there, and you'd slide them into there like so, and then use your base cushions. So you'd use a base here, and use the seat belt to go around there. And then with this one, what you need to do is turn it back. So keep it hold, turn it back like so. This base, which is the same as that side, has your isofix on. So there's isofix at the front and there's a point at the back. And then again, you would just use your base cushions. So you'd use a backrest and a base cushion to go in there and infill the space. So now in the cab of the Ford Transit cab on the Chausson First Line 720, you've got your handbrake to your right, which is a folding handbrake. So you might think that's off, it's not, it's on, as you can see in the speedo there. You've got to pull it up, push the button in, pull it a little bit further, and then the handbrake will go off. And obviously, as you can see, the handbrake light has gone out, and then you'll hear it ratchet back up when it's on. You've got your electric windows. You can lock the doors on the cab, and then you'd manually just push the catch in on the habitation door to lock that, and then unlock with the key. And then you do have your mirror adjustments, which is only the top. You've got to manually move the bottom, which is your blind spot. Then you've got your lights, so you've got off, side lights, and then your full lights. Obviously when the lights are on, you can brighten and dim these instrument cluster. And then you do have your rear fog lights as well. Wipers, indicators. This just runs through the screen here, so you've got a digital speedo, an instant fuel usage, your range, so your distance to empty, your average speed, your average fuel usage, a timer, and then you can go to here and you can go to driver's assistant, and you do have hill start, so you can turn that off and on should you want it. And then you can go to maintenance and you can see your oil level and your AdBlue level. But don't go off this for a service, it's going off the manufacturer's supplement, which is yearly. So a vehicle engine service must be done yearly, as long as the, or should I say with the habitation service, to keep any warranties for the Ford and the Chausson warranty. You do have your speed limiter, so you can set that, resume, cancel, and your speed limiter and cruise control at the top. So there comes on there, set in the top, or you've got set miles per hour, which is obviously a limiter. Your volume, your voice command, and your hands-free, along with skipping a track. This one's got the Connect pack on, so it does have the Accent head unit. So if you've opted it with a sat nav and paid for the sat nav card, it goes in the side there, and obviously then the sat nav would come available. You've got radio, which is FM, AM, DAB, obviously all your channels. So we've got our regional channels, which is Tyne and Wear, as we're in Newcastle, and your national. So you can just scroll through them, and then you can press 1 to 6 to save them in preset, or you can switch to FM should you lose DAB. And of course you can use the buttons here on the bottom, which are just shortcuts. You've got Bluetooth, so you go to Bluetooth and then go on your phone and go into your Bluetooth settings on your smart device and look for Accent, and then press pair. You'll press pair on here, and then it'll say allow to sync contacts on your phone. Just press allow and it'll download your phone book. And of course you can use Bluetooth audio streaming for your music, which is music here, and then you can stream your music. You can go to cam, which is your rear view camera, and obviously that does come on when you lift the collar and go into reverse anyway, like it does there. It's come back on in reverse. And then you've got USB, which works here, like so, and then you've got your settings at the end. With the sat nav, or should I say with this head unit, if you ever get any glitches with it, it means that it needs to be updated. So you download the update free of charge from the Accent head unit website, and obviously this model is F280. Download the update for that, turn the ignition on, pop it in there, it'll then start downloading on here, and then you go to setup, and you can see in other install software, and it'll show you the software update. So it's V21. If there's one better than V21, you can install that as well. Below you do have your fan speed on, off, the mist for the screen, where you want the air to go to, face or feet, recirculation within the cab, and your aircon. So this is your temperature. If you turn it all the way down, it turns it to max anyway. Hazards are there, and then you've got a 12 volt for a sat nav. You've also got a 12 volt for a sat nav up here if you don't opt to have the sat nav card, but it's a great sat nav. And then you do have your phone holder there, which you then push and lock your device in there. So that will just fold down and store away like so. And then you've got your carb lights and your map reading lights and your big visors there as well. That now brings us to the end of the handover video on the Chausson First Line 720. Should you have any questions, feel free to contact Tyne Valley Motorhomes on 01207 272 777, or email our sales department at sales@tynevalleymotorhomes.co.uk. Thank you for watching this handover video.